Hi to my voice family, it's good to be back. Today I'd like to bring you a case against coco melon. Now I have the right to speak about it because I do have a child and I do have that kind of problem. I don't believe that experience is the best teacher. I believe that the Holy Spirit is the best teacher. But experience kind of gives you more perspective. And before I gave birth, I would tell people coco melon is weird and it's hyper stimulating for children, and they'll be like, no, Chipo, just wait until your child comes. You have no other choice but to put it on because she won't allow you to do anything. You have to be with her, you have to entertain her, you have to clean her, all those things. But I do believe, and I did believe that I still had a choice. And I believe that we have a choice. Even though I'm a dignified housewife, I know that many mothers out there who are working and who have children too. So this video is very comprehensive for anybody, whether you're staying at home or you're out working. Coco melon is a household name in this land of work and joy. Bluey too. There are others, but these are the main ones that stand out. My case against coco melon and Bluey and all their relatives is this. Number one, there is something about coco melon that hooks children on. They are so engrossed that they barely even hear their names. And I've done some research, and many parents have testified to their children failing to develop their speech, also experiencing ADHD because of how hypersensitive coco melon is, which is our second point. The colors are hyperstimulating, which means that its bright visuals, repetitive music and sounds can actually make it addictive to children, almost like a drug. Some parents actually mention that their children become zombies or are in a trance. Like at that moment, you can't call them, you can't do anything with them. And over a period of time, the overstimulation can cause children to experience symptoms of addiction and withdrawal. Like if you want to take a child off the screen for a bath, they can have more than 3 tantrums in a day. Longer tantrums, if the tantrums were like 2 minutes, the child can 5 minutes, but then now it's like 20 minutes. The child is just crying and screaming and they don't want something. The child is snappy or agitated and overly controlling and with patterned rigidity. They are rigid. They want the door to be opened a particular way. They want things to be done in a particular way. They're nitty-gritty about certain things unnecessarily. Children having too many triggers, there's too many things that cause a child to get upset. They can't regulate their emotions properly, and difficulty in settling into creativity because everything is before their eyes. Even speech, everything is before their eyes. They can say maybe one word separately from other words, but construction of normal sentences takes longer for them to develop. They are dysregulated. Coco melon recently introduced a gay couple with a child who is transitioning. Now I know that you parents cannot be twisted to believe that a boy can be a girl, but the devil is not after you anymore. Vision 2030 says that our kids will be about 4 to 17 years of age, and by then teenagers will want to explore their sexuality. We can be holy about it, but the fact of the matter is that teenagers are new into the sexual experience. And if they're not taught from home, if they're taught from coco melon or the world teaches them, when they begin to experiment, the perversity that they saw will be the extent to which they experiment in their own lives. And you don't want that. I don't think you want that. Like, we're already fighting sexual immorality, then now you have to fight perversion in sexual immorality. That's like too much. And the babies who are, who are 4 years old will think it's normal. They will see it as a normal. They'll be desensitized to the fact that a mom and a dad should run a home. But then, they're desensitized and they believe, oh no, you can have 2 dads, you can have 2 moms. And by the time they're growing, they won't be able to stand against sexual immorality, perversion, homosexuality, and such kind of things. Parents whose kids go to international schools, please don't beat me on this one, should be super careful as well. The agendas of the international community are directly embedded into their syllabi. They learn about witches and sexuality in a very unhealthy way. Now, I'm not saying pull your kids out of international schools. I know you want the best for your children, but sometimes what is out there is not always the best. America used to be said with the world of dreams, like the land of dreams. But now you look at it, and this degradation is so horrible that I don't think that I look at America the way I used to 5 years ago. I don't admire America anymore. When people say I'm in America, all I think of is they're probably working 3 jobs and don't have a life, and they just post because the lighting is better there and the pictures look nice, so we like and we say, oh no, they're having a great life. But America is not the world of dreams, and international schools are America here in our country. So what are your kids learning? Are you able, apart from your work schedule, are you able to really participate, to ask your children what they're learning? Are they coming home with different notions about sexuality, about witchcraft? What are they bringing back home? And I'll share something.
A mother came to me with a 7-year-old who was trying to sodomize his 2-year-old brother. And he said, my daughter, I don't know what to do. I'm still in shock. This boy was trying to sodomize his 2-year-old. I asked her, which school is this boy going to? An international school. In that school is where they are training. Because when she mentioned that school, I know the school in our country. And I know one teacher who is there and is gay. And I know very well that in those schools, those international schools, is where they are grooming the African children to turn into what they want them to become. So that's where they are training them to become gay. And when you see the things happening, and many parents are so busy, they come back when their children are asleep. They leave when their children are sleeping or when they are going to school. So they don't have time to interact with them, find out what they are being taught at school. I told them that the mom, you go to school, enter the school library, and try to look at the content that your children are reading. The woman was shocked. She entered the school library and she saw those books that are teaching children to be what they want to be. You can be a body trapped in a woman's body. You can be all of those kinds of things in that library. And that's when her eyes open. But this boy, damage has already been made. Maybe he's also being sodomized in school. And that's why he wants to sodomize, and that spirit has entered him already.
What's the solution to all these things? I was just given the problem, but what is the solution? I've said something already about paying attention to what kids learn and participating and being a part of your children's lives. But apart from that, you need to help your children detox off of TV. And this works whether or not they're watching Coco Melon, because for my child, she only watches kids praise and Christian cartoons. But I've noticed that even if it's Christian cartoons, you have to make sure you're detoxing your child. You make a schedule. In my mind, I say that I should be able to give her a show that actually finishes, so that she knows that, okay, TV goes until it finishes, and then the show is done and we need to do something else. So even now, she's 4 months old, but you can tell that when she watches the show for 30 minutes, she's like, I'm tired. And you have to change the activity. So you're training up your child to know that something starts and should finish. Therefore, they're being, detoxed from what they're watching. And then on the Coco Melon side, detox them off so you can get them off completely. I've listed some shows that they can watch here, because this world is growing more evil. I think in the Christian world, there's plenty that we can use to teach our children. Number 3 is that we have a life because of our praying mothers, but will our children be able to boast the same? Are we parents that take time to actually pray for our children, over our children? Experiencing these 4 months has taught me that apart from the 3 basics, is it 3 basics? 4 basics: heat, diaper, hunger. Yeah, heat, hunger, diaper. Those are the 3 basics. of a child, taking care of a child. Apart from these three basics, there is number 4, which is prayer. We experienced it one night when she was crying. She didn't cry in the night, but she was crying almost all night. And we said, what's wrong? We tried everything, changed her diaper, made sure she was cool, made sure everything was okay. But she kept on crying. And we said, no, we don't want this to be our child. I know people say it's normal, but we don't want this for our child. And we prayed over her. When we prayed over her, it took like 10 minutes. She was calm and she was sleeping. And so now we know to maintain, not just feeding and diaper changes and heat. There's also a prayer schedule that we have to keep her, prayed up. Number 4 is be strict about who is taking care of your children. If you can do it personally, I would highly recommend. And number 5 is encourage a daily time limit on TV as the baby grows. Encourage them to play outside, to interact, to get dirty and make noise. Don't hinder. We used to make noise when we were growing up. Suddenly, noise is too much noise. Let's remember what helped us get to where we are and even do better for our children. Thank you.